Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Super License F1 podcast. My name's Rodney.
And my name is Zach.
Sitting extra close to the mic is my friend Zach. Sitting extra close to the mic is my friend myself, I guess. Yeah. We were just talking before we started recording about how nice we sound. Just indulge us that, please.
Yeah, I think we sound delightful. I hope that everybody's
Sure.
listening to this show on their, sitting. You know, when you open up like a game and it's like headphones recommended, and you're like, well, I mean, I guess. The doorbell that you probably hear in the background. Maybe you can't because of my beautiful new setup. But I would suggest really high quality headphones just to listen to us talk about. Well, what are we talking about today, Rod? What is this?
Well, before we get into that, people have been listening to us for a long time, I believe. It turns out, I think, that it might be a bit of a special day recently.
We haven't been keeping track of our own special days, but thankfully, internet service provider, well, that's not right, but the worst social network
It
of
is
all,
an internet
of all,
service. Yeah, that's correct, yes.
LinkedIn, sent me a notification this morning telling me to congratulate my friend, Rodney Gordon, on 8 years at the Super License F1 podcast.
Wow.
As co-host, owner, founder, and producer, Rodney Gordon. Founder. So congratulations, Rod, 8 years.
Thanks. I will accept all the congratulations. That's very great. I'm glad that I'm the only one that gets congratulations for it. But it's tough luck for you, buddy. Jeez, that's harsh. Lift your game, LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean, well, I did find it interesting that you never gave me any stock options in Super License. I get none of the producing credits. And here I am with this great microphone setup, and I get nothing. Here I am trying to be a professional.
Do I get a producer credit? I don't know. I feel like you do.
Yeah, I think I probably do.
Yeah, absolutely you do. And then host, and then what
friend
else?
Of the show.
Here. Yes, you're a friend of the show. Some might say you're a bit more influential than that.
Friend with benefits of the
8
show.
years, yes. No. I mean, it is incredible. And I mean, we did have a bit of a weird start, like as in we didn't start like January 1st or the first race of the year or anything, but it does creep up on you that it was a bit after that.
There's no good time to start a podcast, but there's no bad time to start a podcast either. As we're learning in probably the last couple of years, if you're a person and you've got more than 20 minutes spare, you should be doing a podcast.
Yes. Are you more than one person? Then why aren't you a podcast? You could easily be a podcast, even if it's just the two of you, Justin and Justine talk Seinfeld. There's your podcast done.
Wow, that was easy. Should we be doing a podcast that makes up just podcasts for other people? Maybe
we should. I mean, the thing is, I bet that there's already 5 podcasts that are like that. Oh, speaking of podcasts, boy, it's a podcast-orama today. I need to say special thanks to the folks at Box and Neutrals who had me on as a guest this week. The episode went out today as we were recording, yesterday as you're listening, or depending on when you listen to this. Sat in as a super sub, and the good thing is that because there's been no races lately, it's not one of those episodes that's like already out of date. So please feel free to go and check that out if you haven't already. If you don't already subscribe to both of us, then I don't know what to say, because we are kind of similar, although sort of also not. But I was on there. Go and check it out.
I am going to listen to that while I'm on my run today.
I thought you were going to say you're going to listen to that while you record this.
The funny thing is I listen to all sports podcasts on like 1.8 speed. So 1.8 times
they are boring.
Speed. So there's just a lot of them. I wonder, well, the one problem I come up against though is, and maybe our listeners could tell us this, when I listen to Box of Neutrals at that speed, yes. 2 Australians talking quite quickly already, it's quite fast. But I wonder if it'd be interesting for me, because I obviously listen to a lot of you, both recording this show and then editing this show as well. So, and, talking just generally to you. So hearing you at a new speed might be a new interesting thing for me.
Hearing me at a new speed is just the thing that our relationship needs. Okay, buddy. Anyway, this show, Super License, today we're doing an episode of what we call Dare to Swear, what some other people call the greatest Drive to Survive commentary track that there is. So we're going to be syncing up with Season 3, Episode 3, which Zach is called...
Nobody's Fool.
I knew that. This is show business. I'm throwing to you. Nobody's Fool. I got a feeling somebody will be somebody's fool, but I don't know. We might find out. But you're going to give us a countdown. We're going to hit play. We're going to talk over the top. So if you want to watch along, I'm learning very quickly. No one wants to do that. But if you do want to do that, Zach will give us a countdown. Otherwise, sit back, rest your eyes, I suppose, and listen to us talking about this Netflix episode.
In 3, 2, 1. Dun dun.
Dun dun. I have our Dare to Swear beverage of choice in my hand, a Canadian Club and Dry.
Oh, man, I'm on the waters.
I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Walt Eddie bought us episode.
Yes.
Basically.
I just like how, like, he's just like, God, that's so lame, essentially. Look, you can hear Lewis singing next door. He's a better driver than singer. It's like, well, yeah, he's a better driver than anything. Do you think there's anything Lewis Hamilton does better than drive?
No, I don't. I don't think there's anything Lewis Hamilton does better than driving. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything that most people do literally anything that anybody does that's better than Lewis Hamilton drives. But I mean, I think it speaks to Valtteri's character where he'll call it out and say, yeah, Lewis Hamilton, he was singing on the other side of the wall, but he's not like, listen to this guy singing. I'm Cher, I'm Madonna, I'm a singer. He wasn't like, he'll call it out, but he won't go that extra step of like being nasty about it or just being, I don't even know. What would we even call it? He's not throwing any punches, but he's not pulling any either.
No,
you know what I mean?
He just points out things. He just points out things directly and is like, you come to your own conclusion, but
it's almost like a lack of character or it's a sign of good character. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Are those diamonds on Lewis Hamilton's chain necklace? I mean, if so, they're very subtle and it's very nice. I will
enhance next time I get an opportunity to look. Yeah, 2 phones. He famously has 2 phones.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll ever be a 2 phones person because I feel like I've missed. I never worked at a big enough company that I would have a work phone that they'd be like, here's your BlackBerry. I'm sure Toto Wolff has. Oh, sorry.
We have to talk about this. We have to spend the rest of the episode talking about this.
Yeah,
it sucks. What was he thinking? What was he trying to do?
He's trying to be cool,
but it completely failed. And even if he pulled it off, it wouldn't have been very cool.
Mm-hmm. So they asked him a question
it's like he game plan. Yeah, it's like he game planned it, and then he was like, whether this works or not, just having it as a game plan is so genius that I'm going to have to play that card. And then it just everything about it sucks.
It sounds cool when he says it though. Fuck you all.
Does it though? I mean, it looked really good in the preview for last episode because you're like, oh, this is going to be some heated thing, and then you realize, oh, he's just trying to play some dumb game so that. I mean, he even says, oh, if I say fuck you, you can't use the question, and then they're like. Well, yeah, they might. Like, yeah, of course they will. You clearly didn't think about this at all.
You might have heard that we're also called Dare to Swear, and that's literally all the show is that we just want to capture people who don't usually swearing.
Dare to fucking swear.
Yeah.
So I like this look at Bottas's life. I don't know if it's just because...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I could do without
Bottas. Yeah.
Bottas, more like it. When I was reading the Kimi Räikkönen biography, he was talking a lot about this kind of stuff, just going fishing, getting completely blackout drunk with his friends, crashing like cars into ice things and sitting around in saunas. It just sounded really good. And maybe I'm getting flashes of that with this.
Yeah.
Ever had a nude sauna, Zach?
Pardon?
I asked you first. Ever had a nude sauna?
No, but I have had a sauna in Finland, actually.
Listen to you. Get out of here, really?
To Lööli sauna in Helsinki, which is in the rejuvenated docklands of Helsinki. The one thing that sauna and spa is trying to do is rejuvenate the idea of public sauna because that used to be like public bathing houses in Finland. However, as society developed and people got wealthier, there are more and more private sauna in people's homes, private saunas in people's homes. So they're trying to bring back that public sauna idea. And what you do is you book in, you go, and it's a really beautiful new building that actually kind of floats on the Baltic Sea. And it has, you go in the sauna and then you come outside and you jump in the Baltic Sea. You just jump in the sea and it's freezing. And it's amazing. Yeah, and then you hyperventilate in the sea for like 15 seconds and then you climb out and then you go back in the sauna. It is fucking awesome. And I could highly recommend. 100% Zach's travel tips. That is not what this show is. But if you want a fun holiday, fly to Helsinki, go to the sauna, go to a great restaurant, and then get on the ferry and go over to Tallinn in Estonia. And it is just an amazing trip and you should just do that. So yes, I can feel what Valtteri Bottas has felt. Rod, I have one question for you.
Yeah, okay.
Before it happened, we move too far away from it. Are you in the Valtteri Butt-ass, like because we saw his butt, or in the Valtteri Bottas because we saw his ass? Which fun Bottas pun do you like? Because it's two camps.
I like butt ass because butt ass is almost, you could get the two for one there.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want it. This is interesting. A meeting where Lewis is there and they're like, well, I'm here. So where's Valtteri? And they're like, he's, power play. He's going to remote in from his car. He's too busy to walk into this office. He's going to sit on the other side of the wall. So Lewis, if you could stop singing, please, we'll just remote him in. The mind games have begun.
It's so dumb.
Of course they haven't, but yeah. He probably just got it wrong. He just didn't realize.
I just like that he's just like, why would I come and sit in a room with you guys if I don't have to? Maybe it's a Corona thing.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, probably. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it started that and he just assumed, we're having a meeting, but I assumed it was remote. They might have made the meeting as like, if you can make it, great. If not, here's the link. And he was like, well, yeah, then that's obviously either option is fine. So I'm going to use the link. Yeah.
Do you reckon they're automatically using Zoom on for every meeting? This is a tip I've read for if you're going to do hybrid teams. Mm-hmm. If one person is remote on the meeting, if one person's calling in, everyone should call in.
That's right.
Call ended. Aww. I just like the Valtteri Bottas. It's like, why are you following me around? It's just not very exciting.
Well, yeah. But again, it's like not even saying not putting any flavor or character into his response, just saying that wasn't exciting. Like, yeah, I know. You're just saying what we all know. Here we go. Paying out Lawrence Burrito's red boots. Poor guy.
Why was he wearing them?
I don't remember. I think he lost a bet. And there's also some footwear thing going on with him that I don't fully understand. But when I do, I'll let you know.
Who is he?
Lawrence Burrito. I think it's just changed. He used to be the Formula One head writer, sometimes TV presenter for little bits and pieces, bits and bob. There he is there.
Yeah.
But I think he's moved to Channel 4 now, or somewhere else.
Huh. This is the thing, because I have Sky in the UK. Like, I don't, I get all my Formula One coverage from Sky. So I don't really see much like the F1 video feed, and I don't really see I don't need to watch like the Channel 4. Sometimes they do race cuts, whatever. Like, I just watch the real, just get it straight from the source, mate.
I mean, I don't watch Channel 4 either, but I just happen to know a little bit. I know those three things that I mentioned already about him.
Oh, that's more than me. That's why you knew.
Yeah, true. So what are we watching here? We're watching some interviews before a race, I suppose. Did you catch what race it was?
Yep, Sochi.
We're at the Russia. Of course, a very good race for Valtteri Bottas historically, and one with a bit of history where I think he had to hand over a win to Lewis. I think that's why we're following Mercedes for this race.
Wow, they want to back off their pit stops too fast.
You just assume that every dynamic within the team and the engineers, you assume that it's all just sort of, I don't even know, like on some other plane, that if you heard what they were talking about, you wouldn't even understand. But for them to just say, sometimes the cars overshoot, so just back off and just wait. Like, yeah, of course. It just sounds common sense.
Sounds like they've been listening to my feedback last year, which wouldn't make sense, which was that, hey, you should just do 3.5 second pit stops all the time.
Yeah, just do it.
Just every single time. Just do
because at some race, you'll save yourself 3 minutes.
Yeah. When you were saying, hearing the teams talk about stuff like that, I really do feel like this show and Formula One paints it, like, or Drive to Survive kind of paints Formula One discourse amongst the teams as two things, either incredibly serious and technical, or like, oh, we're all just having a laugh. It's not serious at all. It's fine. And I think Christian Horner's the perfect symbol of that. Although Toto Wolff may be similarly, it's like, this is deadly serious, so serious. And then yeah, but it's just dumb, right? Isn't the whole thing just stupid? Well, I'm sure it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I assume so. I have this problem though as well. Also, when I'm listening to other people speaking another language, I always assume it's something really profound and interesting and deep. And it's probably just like, where are they going to have lunch or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Bottas was really angry about having to give up a win.
This is almost just like, hey, too bad we couldn't have done an episode of Drive to Survive about that race. But I guess, I don't know. We'll try and we'll have our cake and eat it too by just showing highlights from this episode. Where's Will to
That was
explain what
on the
qualifying
screen
is?
for ages.
Yeah, that was way too long.
Would you ever take a photo of Toto Wolff?
Photo of or with?
Of.
So he's walking by. I did
Yeah.
see him passing by, but I'll remember him till the day I die because I took a selfie. Yeah, of course. Why not? I mean,
Okay.
a photo. I mean, it depends on the context. I've had situations where I was in the paddock and it's completely inappropriate to take photos of drivers and
But
people.
if it was just at your hotel.
But then when you're out of the paddock and you happen to be going to some TV launch that Daniel Ricciardo's at, go get a selfie, bro. That's what I did. So yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely.
That's true. If you were at dinner with
Yes.
and let's say you overheard the conversation at the table next to you, the guy was on a
Yes.
date, and the woman he was with is like, "Oh, actually, I'm an engineer at Mercedes. Would you, at some point, talk to them? Try to chat?"
It would take a lot for me to do that. It would take maybe the guy goes to the bathroom and I'm sitting there by myself or something, and it's almost so awkward that I have to say something. That's the only time I would really do it. I don't know that I've ever even told you this, but one time I was on a train platform and guy to the side of me and just a little bit in front was pulled out his phone, was flicking through it, doing a few things, opened up his podcast app, and he's only listening to some other F1 podcasts.
No.
And that's when it's this is the same kind of situation. It's I didn't say anything to him, but I feel like you would almost be more likely to walk over and just almost step forward and try and catch his eye and give him a little upwards nod as if to say, "Hey, Formula One podcast, hey, got a good one for you if you're interested." But that's not something I would do.
Do you reckon? I think my play might have been to get close to him and pull out my phone.
Smack his phone out onto the ground and say, "Fuck you." Toto says, "Fuck."
Toto says, we need to put that on the t-shirt. Toto says, "Fuck you."
All right, well, I'll knock that up.
Knock that up for me, would you?
Also, listener, if you happen to have something in front of you, you can go and buy our Team Selector chart available in poster form, or if you want a different form, let us know.
If you or a friend need help choosing an F1 team to cheer, barrack, or support for, and/or in this circumstance, no, I think I would just show my phone to the guy on the train track. Just
right, that's another good idea.
Podcast up, yeah.
Just play the latest episode and just sort of hold it in your hand casually, but very clearly pointed towards him. Maybe turn the brightness up a bit, tap the phone screen a little bit.
Turn off the headphones, play it out the speakers.
Yeah, what's going on? I can't work out how to. I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm listening to this great Formula One podcast, but the headphones won't friggin' work. It's embarrassing. Everyone can hear me anyway. How you going? My name's Rod. I host this podcast.
Toto Wolff, fucking put your nose back in your mask, mate.
Mate, just get a clue.
At least at this race, he was wearing a mask and not the clear face visor.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be any feedback and we'll see some real-time changes in his attitude.
What I found interesting as well is that I didn't know anything about Valtteri Bottas's race engineer guy. I'd never seen him before, I feel like. And it feels like he gets kind of a strong cameo in this episode. It's cool.
I guess maybe he's the guy that we hear from when they "You're too slow, get out of the way." It's probably him that we hear.
Yeah, he's just the bad news bear.
He's the bad news bear. Isn't his name Bonington or something? Or is that someone else in the team?
That might be Bonington. Isn't that Lewis's? Is that Bono?
Oh, yeah. You're right. Good news, Bonington. Yeah. Bad news, Bear.
Well, he's only ever got good news for Hamilton, regardless of how Hamilton takes it. You're slower than Lewis. Yeah. Go faster. Go.
See, this is...
Sorry, I don't know why I did that. You can hear the show. So dumb.
No, for people who aren't syncing up and watching, you need to add some sound effects. That's great. This just seems like kind of a whole lot of nothing to me. Honestly, I don't... I just don't...
qualifying.
Yeah. Well, how long are we in? 13 minutes or something? 10 minutes? I don't even know. So much shoe leather, right? We just don't need to know all of these setup steps.
What's that? So much shoe leather? What does that mean?
Shoe leather is an old term from, I guess, filmmaking or TV making, where it's you're following a guy, he gets out of a taxi, he walks 2 blocks down the street, walks up to the door, rings the doorbell, waits for a minute, then walks inside. when all you really need to show is him going inside. You don't need to show all that shoe leather.
Yes,
you see?
sure.
We're all learning something today.
Of the toe.
Will Buxton is involved, so I'm not...
Don't give him a toe. Don't fucking give him a toe. Everybody's telling him, don't give him a toe.
You see, I mean, yeah, I was sort of almost determined to be more positive coming into this episode because I knew I was going to pay out the Toto Wolff thing, but why not set up the toe thing first, then show this, and then have this be... As you're watching it, you understand what's going on. Now, as it was, we had to watch all of qualifying, and then we get the explanation of kind of what happened maybe, and then we get this. Ugh.
Yeah, yuck. I mean, and why did Bottas do it? I mean, right? Like, why does he want to fuck with his own team? Like, that's not good. Like,
the thing...
Bottas's, like, little, like, problem with this team that is, like, that poor fucking race engineer. Toto's like, he fucking... gave him a toe, and he's like, I know. He's like, I told you to tell him not to.
He's angry.
He's like, I know.
He's angry at Bottas, though.
Yeah, but there is like, just like good vibes have positive good vibe effects. Like there's bad vibes, and Bottas is bringing those bad vibes, man. Like this is the team, the best team in Formula One, who's giving you this job where you have a chance to win races. Basically, no one else on the grid except Max Verstappen ever gets that opportunity, and you're like, I don't like being number 2, and sometimes he's mean to me. I'm going to be passive-aggressive and give... No, not even passive-aggressive. Active-aggressive and give my direct opponent a toe. It's so fucked up.
Well, okay. That's a valid position to have. I just want to make sure that you're gonna consistently have that same attitude.
Definitely not.
Say the foot shoes on the other foot. That's all.
Definitely not.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about. But, I let you go as far as you wanted to go. I gave you enough rope to hang yourself. And
you give me enough rope, do you? Yeah, that's nice.
Now who's being the fucking aggressive one? We're a team, mate. Mate, pull your head in.
Oh, yeah. You can't be Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton, right? You got to pick one.
All right. Well, you know what I have to say about that. Fuck you.
Maybe I was just part of me wanting to start that. Look, do you believe that?
I
feel like that's
I don't
possible.
know. It seems the reaction from the team makes it seem like it was blatant, and they would know. So, I mean, one option is he did it accidentally, but now he's maybe trying to play off like, oh, maybe I didn't do it accidentally, but maybe he did. I don't know.
No, I think he definitely did it. I was like, you know what? It's killing two birds with one stone here. I get to start third, which is where I'd rather be. Just right behind Lewis on the good side of the track. And then I also get to give Lewis some trouble because Max Verstappen's right there.
Yeah. I guess it comes down to opinion, because if it's a fact that starting from first and third is better, then they wouldn't be upset, would they?
No, but Mercedes likes a front row lockout regardless, right?
Yeah, they do.
But I think Bottas is thinking Mercedes like that because that means I can be number 2. And help Lewis defend, as opposed to really fight with Lewis from third, which is what they don't want me to do. They just want me to sit there.
I know we pivoted since Rosberg retired to not liking him again, but I was really glad to see him in this episode, in this context. I thought it did a good job of rounding it out.
He's very fashionable again, as well.
What is?
The hair that he has in these clips.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly fashionable.
Whatever you think about him, I think he's always had good hair.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Him and Kevin Magnussen have been right up there. Obviously, Nico Hülkenberg as well. The Nicos have had good hair. There aren't a lot of bad hair Nicos.
Yeah, the Germans know how to do it right.
Oh, God. I miss these days. Don't you miss these days?
You just went on this rant about how bad it was. Pick a side, bro.
The thing about Bottas is that it's just kind of fake, I feel like, because he's not as good as, like, who do you think is a better driver, Nico Rosberg? Or
you don't even have to finish.
Bottas?
Rosberg was way better.
Yeah, and look at him throwing hats and stuff. At least when he's being aggressive, he's being genuinely aggressive. At least he's not, like, fucking around.
Well, yeah, I guess that's pretty true. That's pretty true. Neither of them are as good as Hamilton. That's what everyone wants me to say, and that's what I believe. But yeah, of course, no, he was way better than Bottas. The numbers speak for themselves.
He's still better than Bottas.
Yeah, that's true. This was actually really nice. I thought a nice decompression and it's like shot in this sort of almost like just an iPhone stuck on a mount or something.
Yeah.
See how it's all grainy? It looks. I really.
maybe a GoPro?
I wish there was more of this or GoPro. I wish that I'd be happy if half of the show was that level of production value and candidness, and I mean, there's nothing in those scenes that's like I talked about this with our PR people beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, Cullen is... I reckon she's Australian. His performance coach. That's her.
That's her, right? Okay.
I think she's Australian.
Cullen, okay. She could be.
Veronica Cullen, something like that. Oh,
she's got that Aussie thrill seeker attitude.
Yeah, it's either Australian or New Zealand. But this whole episode is full of Australians. They're everywhere.
Are they really?
Michael Massey's about to turn up in this episode. He's Australian.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And,
that's true.
Valtteri Bottas has his new girlfriend in the show.
Australian. Toto Wolff,
girlfriend
almost
and
Australian.
Coach. Yeah,
pretty
Toto Wolff,
close.
basically Australian. Look at him.
Basically. So,
AFL.
like, just a few letters.
He could play full forward for the Sydney Swans, something like that.
Oh, he totally could.
Yeah.
He's got a touch of the Paul Roos about him, doesn't he?
He does. They'd have good chats, I feel like, Paul Roos and Toto. I've talked about this recently.
Toto and the Roosie. Toto and Rizzy.
Yeah. I was talking to... Here we go. There he is. Hinge.
Ding, ding. Everyone drink.
I love that Massey's like, I'm not in this show.
Yeah, I'm not in this scene.
Don't give me
I'm not meant to be.
This isn't.
No, I don't have any lines in this scene.
But I was chatting to my partner about this on the weekend because we were watching some AFL, and I was like, these AFL players think that they're some of the best athletes in the world. However, okay, so Tiffany Cromwell, Valtteri's girlfriend,
there you go.
I think she's a top level. She's also an incredible athlete, but this confused me because I was like, I'm sure he's married. I'm sure he has a wife. And they got divorced in 2019.
They're very, yeah. Yeah.
I knew that at some point.
It came up, I was talking with some people about that because they were like, oh man, he's sacrificing so much to try and win a championship that his marriage broke down. I was like, but that's a bit presumptive because you don't know why his marriage broke down. Who knows?
No, exactly.
Could have been anything.
Maybe because he spent too much time in the fucking sauna with his bros. Not enough time, helping out at home. Looking after his relationship.
Growing weird mustaches.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just let me finish my thought on the AFL players, which is that your stars in your domestic competition that nobody else in the world plays, and no one in the world really knows who you are except Australians. I wonder how they feel when they hang out with, when you see an AFL player hanging out with like an F1 driver or an NBA player or something. You're not even in the same sphere of fame or anything like that.
I mean, they're on the same level within that sport, except that one sport is played by only Australia and another sport is played by the entire world.
Yeah. I wonder how that feels.
Well, how does it feel when it happens to you?
As someone who is at the top of their field in podcasting, but when I hang out with
exactly.
a real broadcaster, like if I hang out with like Bruce McAvaney,
as you do,
or someone like that, do they? It feels bad, man, because I know we're on equal pegging as far as ability goes and general broadcasting fitness. They're just in a slightly better position. There was Bonington.
Yeah, and it said engineer Hambo. So there's mystery confirmed. Oh, here we go.
This is so complicated.
Like Team LH though will just be like wringing their hand in their mouth like this isn't a penalty. There's no way this is a penalty. Lewis is always right. Their boy, this became a big thing.
What is this? Yeah, I love that Toto was like, what the fuck is that about? I don't think you can do that. Yeah, see? God, Toto's the ultimate, having your CEO always around is tricky, right?
Yeah, boy, yeah. Looking at it, even just from these onboards, it doesn't look good. And I get the feeling that if it happened somewhere else where it didn't look as bad, they might have shown some leniency. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you did break the rules.
Yep.
If we let you get away with it in circumstances where it's safe, then that doesn't discourage people who do it in times when it's unsafe. And you've done it when it's unsafe. So it seems open and shut to me, but everyone can have their opinion.
And as the show has just pointed out, like it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So don't do it, man. Also, it feels like the kind of thing that they could have just really quickly checked before he did it. Like they could have just called Michael Massey and been like, hey, yo, I know he's not the steward as such as he's the race. Isn't Michael Massey the race? What's it called?
It seemed like Lewis.
He's
a race director.
Race director. There we go.
It seemed like something Lewis came up with on his own, though. Just decided, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, but he spoke to the team. The team were like, yeah, just do that. Go there. Yeah, go on.
Okay, I don't know.
Red Bull, always there.
Yeah.
Checking on everyone else. God, such narcs.
They are. They're a bunch of squares. They don't want anyone else to have fun.
Narcs.
Narc squad.
Narc squad.
No, that's right.
We're hearing a lot more of this. Oh, this is great. And whose side were you on, Toto, in the Rocky movies?
Yes. Tough one. Yeah. Good to see 1 second of Daniil Kvyat there, the Russian driver. Remember we're in Russia? Show the Russian driver. Come on. You can't. There's not enough pressure in the world that you can put on him, mate. It's just not going to happen.
He's already he's already carrying the hopes of a country, a political movement, a team. He's already. Maybe that's the point, right? Maybe he's under so much pressure, the little bit of extra Bottas pressure will crack Lewis.
I think you need to have so much else go your way, and we saw this with the Rosberg year, that so much else has to go right your way for that pressure to have the right outcome, right? And I think you have to walk a fine line with Hamilton, because it's kind of almost like, don't punch him, that'll just make him angry. Like if you piss him off too much, then it just refines his determination even more. It's like the Steve Waugh thing. Like if I'm on 20 and you drop me, I'm going to make 200. Like it's, he tried. I mean, but look, Bottas tried.
It worked. Yeah, and look, starting from third worked beautifully. Oh,
starting from third worked. Yeah, boy, that one really hits you in the guts, doesn't it?
It's like you don't know where your car is. Like you don't know how wide your Formula One car is. Come on.
I still am dirty on the organisers though, because that should not be at that angle, that wall, and that barrier that you've got to go around.
There.
It's bullshit.
They put those little foam things there. Like, don't drive here.
Yeah. What a messy. That was a really messy one. That was a Michael Massey one.
Tell you what, that Mercedes is a nice safety car, but the new Aston Martin safety car they've got this season, is it nice?
Liking it?
Oh yeah, it looks so fast.
So do you think you run Aston Martin, you are paying a lot of money to get your Aston Martin car as the safety car or pace car, or there's several, there's the medical car as well, and I think they're all alternating, throughout the races. But let's just say your car's retiring already for a mechanical problem. Are you like, wall's right there, bro? Just go and maybe stick it in that wall there. We get our nice Aston Martin car on TV for a while. Do you reckon?
That's an interesting point. I mean, sure, why not? And make sure you crash in front of like the Aston Martin logos, maybe.
Yes,
no, I mean,
exactly.
Surely it's worse to have the Aston Martin crashing than it is to have the other Aston Martin on screen.
I don't know.
I love that they're like, I'm not going to say bullshit though. I'm going to say shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's bullshit. I'll just say it's shit though. That's harsh enough. Let's not get balls involved.
I think that showed that it's not the rule book, and his racing was like, you're maybe right.
That's bullshit. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's 100%. It's a thing that happened. Boy, I mean, it's just who even knows?
How
could go either way. I mean, you don't even want to judge, really.
I do like that though. That was interesting. So don't stop me. All right.
Yeah. Well, we all know who runs the team.
Yeah. Let me do a practice start from the pit wall. All right, mate. Cool. Yep. What color tires do you want? Sure.
Nothing could go wrong.
Whatever you want.
He's zooming. He's driving. There's sparks. He's going fast.
He's flying. That's why they call it a flying lap.
I mean, it's always a funny thing when a Formula One driver is like, what do you mean? Like, why didn't you just tell me I had to go fast? I could have been going fast this whole time.
Mm. Also, why is Toto getting on the radio being like, hey, there's safety critical vibrations there, mate? And they're all like, surely they're all like, yeah, we know. Fucking hell, Toto.
God, let me do my job.
I'm literally an engineer. What are you?
Yeah.
Some guy. Some entrepreneur.
What are you? Get back to the gym, mate.
Yeah.
Not literally not a thing. Literally not a thing, Lewis.
Yeah.
Literally not a thing that we can do.
Drive the fucking car. Go, go, go. Go, Velta. Show us your pace. Did you say show us your ass? I mean, I can. No pace.
Come to the sauna.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, I was saying sauna. I know you can, like I always say sauna. I would very rarely say sauna.
I went in Rome.
To say it that way.
It was fun. I had a good time.
When in Rome, we say Roma. Okay?
Roma.
I don't say Rome.
Roma.
Roma. Roma.
How many people do you reckon rock up in Rome and then the first thing they say is, well, when in Rome? It's such a dad joke thing. Yeah, like dads find that funny for weeks.
Yeah, like when you hop in your hire car and they're like driving the right hand side, you're like, oh, well, when in Rome, they're like, actually, no, basically in every country in the world except these 3.
Is that right?
Everybody drives on the right.
Huh.
Literally everyone. Except like Australia, New Zealand, and Australia.
You also forgot New Zealand. That's 4.
What I say,
and then there's Australia. That's 5. And
it's
quite common down under to do that as well.
Fuck. I'm focusing on the show.
I've lost track of, who's chasing the who down here. So this is Lewis chasing Vettel. No. Yeah. He's trying to recover from his completely unfair penalty that he definitely should have served after the race.
I love that
but it was
an
also
overtake is available. As in, like, overtake him. Lewis Hamilton.
It's available.
And overtake
if you don't get
available.
It done,
please use overtake.
You didn't take a chance. Yeah.
Press the overtake button and overtake him.
Please go get it done. Meow.
Now who's doing it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Who's got the best engineer helmets?
Don't know. Out of Racing Point and what was the other one?
Renaults look like dirt bike helmets. They look like BMX helmets.
Like dirt bikes, motocross.
Yeah, I like Racing Points because they've got the really big visors, like the whole thing, like a space helmet.
Yeah, right. Who was it who first introduced? Maybe it was McLaren. Had that like the first round of like we look like stormtroopers.
Yeah. God, whinge, Max Verstappen.
Just heard that.
Oh, Lewis, you can do this. Now, Lewis, we've got a message from Toto Wolff. You can do this, just one sentence.
Yeah, that's all we have to say. Copy.
Copy.
I do like that they say copy. It's a very like fighter pilot, like, you know, there's absolutely no need to say it, but let's just do it anyway. Like you're in the army or something.
The person to respond, is that why?
Yeah, well, I guess so, yeah. I mean, that's why they do it all the other times. It's like, yep, you know, assume that I heard you and I just said back to you what you just said to me.
Roger.
Yeah, Roger. What's your Victor? What's your 20? I guess that's the old CB talk. Did you ever use a CB radio?
I have. My cousin goes hunting a lot, and they always had, when I was growing up, they always had the truck, we used to call it. It was a big Toyota Hilux.
Yes,
something like a Hilux, and they had a CB radio in the back. Yep. In the front and the back. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Every now and again, it'd crackle to life.
And it would be nothing. Someone accidentally bumping it with their foot and going, whoops, no, turning it back off.
Yeah.
It was like popular for like about 6 months, it seems. I know my older brother, who's 10 years older than me, when he got his first car, he had one in his car. And I think that they had this I think he got an imported one from Europe or somewhere where the channels were different. So he was driving around with his car. They had this massive crash. And his friend knew, I'll put it on the emergency channel 4 or whatever. And then that turned out to be like completely the wrong channel to put it on because it was programmed in differently. It doesn't matter. He walked away okay.
That was Channel 4 in Germany.
Yes. Well, look, you know, Bottas does okay in Russia, even if he's a dirty cheat.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day,
they both cheated, right? He gave a toe to a friend,
Lewis
competitor,
like
and Lewis did a weird start.
I thought you were going to say compatriot. Look, I mean, you know, yeah, Lewis clearly tried to cheat by doing a practice start at a completely different bit of asphalt than the one that he should have done it on. Bottas clearly handed an advantage to a competitor, so it's exactly the same thing. It wasn't. It's not neither of those. It's embarrassing.
Perfect.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So this, you're quite, I would say, quite sympathetic to people doing this, whether it's Lewis or Toto, going into the stewards and questioning their decisions. Do you feel that way about this one?
Well, I think Toto's thing is exactly like, it was just like, we just need to go in there and make a point. We'll do it for Lewis. Don't think we'll win, but you just do it because you have to.
I think he does it so that he can go back to the drivers and say, yeah, you're right. I did what I could, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, I think it does put there's a bit of an intimidation factor to it. And I'm just not sure that intimidating officials is cool.
No, it's not. But these are all the soft factors in sport always. And in life, Rod.
And in life.
They talk about it in heaps of other sports. You know, if you can be, it's why, you know, fucking footballers yell out deliberate or holding the ball to the umpires in AFL. It's like, well, like,
I can't believe you didn't go to diving in soccer. You are so biased since you moved to London. It's unbelievable.
I was trying to use AFL because I knew you get angry. But you know,
keep it on point.
In soccer, it's like the ball goes out and everybody else throws up their hands like, oh, it's our ball, it's our ball. It's like, it doesn't fucking
it's clearly our ball. So just copy. It's a very easy lineman. Just copy my arm movement. Just do this. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
You didn't do
it's just shouting, like, it's just whoever shouts loudest. And I think for Toto, it's like you need every single advantage you can get to win this, and you can't let up. You know, which is why Lewis Hamilton did a weird practice start out of the pit lane. And it's why Valtteri Bottas is growing a beard. Like, you want every single little thing because, truthfully, and I know people talk about Formula 1 like, oh, it is a game of thousands of seconds. It fucking is. Like, all of these drivers on the grid are all very, 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 very good. Like, in the top minuscule percentile of drivers, even the ones that are paying to be there, are all still fucking outstanding. So, and it's a knife edge all the time. Just look at Mercedes this year. You know, you would say they're still pretty good, but Red Bull are going to be right on them, it seems, for the next little period. So, you know, you take your little breaks as Bottas is now, have a beer now that the day's work is done, and he knows that he'll give the what do you call it, a toe to Verstappen. If it means he can win the next race, he'll do it again.
Well, he'd do it every race if he thought it improved the chances of winning. Every driver would.
Yeah.
That's sort of the point, I suppose.
But so do you think then, let me pause it because we don't want any spoilers.
Yeah. Come on. I'm going to have to sit through this for a third time in the next episode, so come on. What were you going to say?
But I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you think they shouldn't, like, you know, the rules are the rules and they shouldn't go in and challenge? Like, should there be challenges at all? Like, why are they challenging them?
No. So, I mean, I think that there's a time and a place for it. And I can understand even like in the heat of the battle, sometimes you do things or say things or whatever, but it's different to like, you know, you're on the pitch with an umpire or a referee and they call something that you don't agree with or think is right and you look at them or maybe even go and talk to them. It's completely different to like 45 minutes later going across the paddock and walking in. And even when you know, like all the Netflix cameras are on you, there's a lot of theatre to that as well. And it's very premeditated. And again, I think he's doing it just so he can go back to the drivers and say, yeah, I did it, rather than it being valid. And I think the problem becomes if you do it all the time, when you do have a valid point to make and you do it, it's not going to have the same impact.
That's interesting. Bit of Boy Who Cried Wolf thinking. Yeah.
Wish I'd put it that way.
I mean, I'll always remember being told that because Disney's customer service is so good and they don't want anybody to have a bad time at any of their attractions, especially Disney World, that you can just go and you go to customer service and just complain about literally any small old thing and they'll give you some sort of compensation. Like they'll, we had some problems scanning one of our passes or something and they were like, oh, here's all these extra fast passes and like some meal vouchers and stuff. Like,
wow.
And so people, when the park opens, literally just go straight to customer service and complain about like the line was long or
the ground was uneven.
Yeah,
the sun is
literally
too hot.
everything. Well, people, if it rains, people complain that it was raining because they, the old wives' tale is that some people think that there's a big dome over Disney World and that it can't rain there.
I remember one time a friend of mine went to a movie and he got there a little bit late and the only seats that were left were in the front row. So he walked in, sat down, the movie started and he just decided, I can't handle this. This is awful. I'm going to just leave and ask if I can get my money back and not watch this movie. So he did and he got it back. But then, of course, next time it happened, he sat down in the front row and then went, if I get anything like a headache or even if just the movie's not that good, I'm going to do the same trick. Walk back out and they were like, look, sorry, no refunds. And he was like, what the hell? I mean, yeah. You just, life isn't consistent. Exactly. Pick your moments.
Yeah. And Valtteri Bottas picked his by
Boy, did he. And he congratulate
hell.
him with a Heineken, a nice frosty Heineken.
The only alcohol beer at Formula One tracks. If you want alcohol free, you can go over to the McLaren garage last year and get yourself an Estrella Galicia 00. But no longer. Maybe they'll be drinking that at Ferrari. They definitely won't be drinking a Spanish beer at Ferrari, right? Or maybe he did bring them on as a sponsor. Who knows?
They might be a sponsor, but they won't have it on ice, in the esky.
No, they'll have it warm, Well, we'll find out this weekend in the, what's this dumb race called? The Made in Italy, Romagna, come and hang out. It's beautiful here. Formula One race.
Primo is in there as well.
Ferrari. Yeah, why doesn't Ferrari just sponsor the race? Just call it the Ferrari Grand Prix. I suppose they do that in Monza.
Great question. So anyway, we're off to a race in Italy somewhere, not the normal one, but a different one. And I hope you're all geared up for that and excited. We'll be back with some more Dare to Swear in, I guess, 2 weeks. Is that, should have done this beforehand. Let's check the old calendar.
Very good. You can hear me clicking around, click, click, click.
Yes.
We've got the Formula One Pirelli Gran Premio del Made in Italy del Emilia Romagna 2021.
And then the weekend after that is not a race. Oh, and also this weekend is my birthday race. So please do send your good wishes and good vibes to me on the Saturday for qualifying. My favorite event is, 17th, my birthday. So tweet me, email me, and I don't know, crack a Heineken for me.
Yeah, crack a Heineken for Rod. Rod is not the biggest beer guy anymore, so crack yourself a gin and tonic or a nice, he likes ginger cocktails that have ginger in it.
Cocktails?
Yep.
Whiskey and dry ginger is not a cocktail.
Yep.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, it is a cocktail. Why not? What did you call it?
What's your definition of a cocktail?
One alcoholic drink and mixed with something else, I suppose. Anything made by a cocktailer.
It's actually not a cocktail unless it's from the cocktail region of France. Anyway.
Oh my God. I saw a really great one of that today, which was, damn it, I've forgotten it.
No. While you're thinking of it, I can give you the best one.
Okay.
It's a comment that it's more of like a quip that you would break out at a dinner party or something. But if someone says that's champagne comedy, you actually say, it's not champagne comedy unless it's from the French region champagne. Otherwise, it's just sparkling conversation. There you go. You can all have that. Keep that one in your pockets and break it out at parties.
Keep that one for free. I can't think of my other one. It was beef and cow related.
Sounds good.
We've got Italy this weekend, and then we get to go back to Italy many, many, many moons later in September. So what's that? May, June, July, August, September. We go back 5 months later.
Lucky us and them. This is like a whole Malaysia-Singapore situation, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what I miss about all of these European races? And this, to bring the show all the way back to our intro, which is that you're on Box of Neutrals this week as a super sub, and usually host of that show, Michael Lemonardo, is in Europe for the European races, and I usually get to see him in London. You
don't get to see him, of course.
And sometimes even see him at other European races if I deign to grace them with my presence. In Europe this last year or this year. So
we're all making sacrifices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know. It's my birthday. Let's hope that it being my birthday is an omen for it being a good race. And then after that, there's going to be another week off. So if you're holding on, if what's keeping you subscribed is these commentaries, you only have to wait one extra week and there'll be another one. We are really ticking these things off nice and early in the season before we get into these. What is there? 6 races in a row or something later in the year?
Yeah, something like that. Can I ask you a question about your birthday? If you had one birthday wish for the race this weekend, and you could give it to one driver, to do well, who would it be?
We haven't mentioned Yuki Tsunoda yet, so let's go Yuki Tsunoda. Apparently, someone was saying that he's good or something. Man, I should have thought about this before I committed to it. Good in fantasy, I think was what it was. Good pick for fantasy.
Oh, tip for fantasy, everyone. Make sure you get
take it with a grain of salt, but yeah.
Yep, get on your fantasy team.
It's a good call to action. Just get in your fantasy team. Don't forget to get in those extra picks. We're in Fantasy GP, and you can look up I'm not going to tweet the thing again, but find the team, make the team, but don't forget to put in your bonus predictions, because if you don't, you're really pushing it uphill, if you know what I mean. Get those, and it's always easy stuff. It's like, how many safety cars will there be, or, what position will the best McLaren finish in? It's easy stuff. So yeah, that's money for jam.
You just know it.
You want to get that in. You also want to, of course, you don't want to not do this, is not follow us in the Discord. You want to jump in the Discord, and especially on a race weekend, come in, tell us what snacks, number one, tell us what snacks you're having for the weekend. Number two, tell us, your hot tips for the fantasy league. Number three, after the race, and we're recording, come in and have a listen. We are going to try and rig up something. I mean, it's harder than you'd think, but rig up a nice, easy way for people to chat with us as well. So if you want to sit back and listen to the show as we record, and then call us out on all the dumb things that we say, it'd be nice to be able to do that. But this is just another little prompt to say, hey, that's one of those little bonus things you get if you're in the Discord. You get to listen to us record the show. And what else do you want to do? You want to follow us on Twitter. We're at Superlicense. You want to just check out the website, superlicense.com.au, or email us at superlicencepodcast@gmail.com.
One other thing, I think we have probably need to do some F1 dreams some point in the next few episodes.
Yes.
So if you have...
That means that Zach just had one.
Yeah, if you had an F1 related dream, email us or put it on the Discord or send us a tweet, whatever you want to do, at Superlicense. And we will probably read it out on the show in first person, like we always do, pretending to be you. So please send it in.
That is a good call out. We need to do that. And just stay tuned for good, fun things. And
Great, Sal.
You have a good time.
Right.
And you look nice today.
Have a good time. Thank you, everybody. Have a good time.
We're good at this. 8 years, you say. I don't know. Get out there and live life, but also stay safe. Stay home if you're sick, and come over if you're sick. I think it's how it works.
Although in the UK, restrictions have just been slightly lifted. Can't hang out at other people's houses, but you can go to pubs outside.
Restrictions being lifted.
Get a vaccination. Go on.
Excellent. I'll get mine next year, by the sounds of it. Anyway, I don't want to go on a rant about all that stuff. Anything else, Zach?
No, just fucking enjoy this Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be so nice. Hopefully it's going to be sunny, really good. I'm really jazzed for F1, having watched all this fucking Drive to Survive data swear. All I want is an F1 race now. And
there's an emergency.
It's going to be great. Could you hear that ambulance?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Not even through the mics. I could just hear it. It was hella loud.
Yeah, it's London, man. There's always emergencies. I live in a big city.
Oh, dear. Look, that's life in the big city, isn't it?
Kind of a big deal.
When in Rome. Till next time, my name's been Rodney.
My name's been Zach.
Take care, enjoy your time, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Have a good time. Bye.
I don't know, I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah.